BD5 Pilot coming at you on a Saturday from beautiful Portland Hillsboro Airport, and it's just a sunny, gorgeous day today, up in the high 60s. So I'm having a nice time with this hangar door open, being able to work on the plane with fresh air. And what have we got going on in the My Crazy Ideas department? So I've got the engine basically sitting here in its semi-assembled state, so I can make sure exhaust headers, the intake system, all this is going to fit correctly in the plane. I'm going to take those tie-down straps and we're going to strap them around the fuselage here and suspend the engine from down in there. So I'm about to see if my crazier idea is going to work or not. So hold on a second. We'll see if this is going to work. Well, there you have it. And best estimate with ruler and level right now. I've got that engine pretty much set to the height front and rear it needs to be. It needs to come over just a little bit to the right compared to the left because of the offset of the drive, but that's where she's going to sit inside of here. And I've got to design an intake box around those intake plenums. I might look into canting that forward velocity stack maybe to accommodate the fit there, because it has to come over a little over an inch towards the right side. Let's look at the other side as well. And there. And let's pull some exhaust bits in here and get an idea for fit. The forward edge there, I'm going to probably use an eighth inch aluminum stock that I get cut out to create a forward motor mount that attaches to all four of those bolt points and then stretches out, spans out to the sides. It comes into the water line to triangulate all of that position and utilize the rear edge of the main gearbox, so I get as much strength as possible on the forward mount of the engine. The rear mount, I'm going to come off of those bolt holes that tie into the starter housing and then make some verticals that drop down. And of course down here is where I plan on mounting the alternator, probably off to that left side there, working the intake NACA duct around that structure, and that keeps it out of the way of most other things. Let's go see how the exhaust is going to fit in. So I've taken one of the canisters and probably with a nice 90-degree here, and then modifying the where the exhaust comes out in that point. Turn that another 90 degrees, drop it down so it drops right in the middle of that exhaust venturi. And then up at the top, I can have a mount, rubberized mount like they use in the motorcycles to fix that pin so this doesn't move around a lot. And so these are just mounted vertically back here, and be one on each side. I can cant them out, keep them away from the drive assembly, keep them from getting heat involved with the drive assembly. So I believe this will work out just fine. From this angle, you can see how the drive itself is offset, so the engine has to sit over just I think it's about 1.25 inches towards the left-hand side compared to the right. So when I design the mount, that has to be taken into account so that that drive shaft is as straight as possible. The cooling presents another set of problems. Remember, the engine is going to be further out here. It's going to bump into that head if I try to mount this forward. Now I can mount it probably back here and be okay, but I'm running right into where that exhaust would be unless I lay them down horizontal, which may or may not work. I've got one sitting there horizontal, but I don't really like that. Might have to go to a smaller, narrower NACA duct, just with the single opening that fits up here nice and high, and then that would feed right into a plenum, right on top of the engine. That might be what I have to change to. You'll see that horizontal placement of the exhaust. on this side. And as I say, not so sure I like that idea or not. So get to work on a little bit of designing things. I'll take some measurements to make some plywood pieces to temporarily drop this into place with the plywood holding the engine rather than the tie down straps. As I continue with crazy ideas, I'm looking at that region right below the drive system, and I'm curious, could I drill 2 3-inch holes there and run my exhaust canisters actually back that way, which actually gives me a straight flow out of the headers into the exhaust and actually arranges the exhaust itself to drop right into that tunnel. We'll hold this up on the outside to see just how far, and that actually only extends probably about 4 inches into there. So I've got to take a look at what's behind. I've got to pull an access panel off and see if that's a potential solution. So to test my idea out, I took this inspection panel off that gets used for checking the elevator assembly. And when I look up forward there, let's see, you can't really, I don't believe you'll be able to make it out. There's a little hole there. You see that round hole. And of course I've got my trim cables that are right in the view, and my elevator cables then come off to that side there out through that hole. So I can reach in there with my hand and tap on that piece of aluminum that I'm dealing with, and I can actually feel around. I have more than enough space there. Doesn't appear to be necessarily a structural, but what I can do is make a doubler when I drill through that and design a piece that fits those mufflers facing that way, so they're actually aligned properly, and probably will even work better. So I've got some wood supporting the rear of the engine now, and I've taken the measurements for the nose, one of the tie-down straps off, and we've cut a piece of 1/2 inch out, plywood, marked it where the bolt holes are going to go. I'm going to drill the center out too, so I can keep from bending those ignition wires. I don't want to do as minimal damage to those as possible during the fitting of all this. But I'll drill that hole out, and then we'll go to work seeing if this mount works. Okay, now we're dealing with the new mounts I manufactured out of plywood to hold that engine in the correct alignment with the drive shaft. You can see we have quite a bit more room on this side for the engine than the other side. I might even have to create a little bubble for the spark plug there. I'll see how that ends up once I get that part assembled. But now we get a real good picture of where that engine's going to sit, and then as I'm getting this aligned to see if that exhaust system's going to work the way we think it will. Let's see if I'm any good at opening the canopy here, one-sided, and drop back down and see how this alignment ends up looking. Let me see how the engine fits into that engine bay. And I'm probably just a little bit too far over. I need to push it back just a tish to line that up straight. But we're really close to that alignment now, so victory. Okay, we have the first muffler hole drilled, and we can make sure we can look back in here and make sure we're seeing. All right, what are we dealing with for clearance over on that side, so I make sure I don't do anything cutting holes that are going to be a problem with that trim. And voila, the idea looks like it's going to work. I'm going to create a little doubler with some rubber grommet there for where the muffler passes through that canister, and then we're going to design a system that brings those exhaust pieces back out to the plenum but so far pretty happy. All right, I'm going to drill the other side. It looks like I've got a little bit of play here, so it looks like I can twist these just a little bit. So I'm going to give that a try and see if I can get the other side to fit as well. Well, I'm always happy when a plan works, and that appears to be working much better than even imagined. I thought I was going to have to mount those vertical, and what I'm going to have to find out about is this fitting here. If I can have this made with just a little bit of an angle, it might fit just fine that and clamp down, but they might have one that already has just a slight angle to it for these type of fitting problems. But that beautifully gets this engine in place and in line with the drive shaft, and pretty exciting. I'm also seeing that with those mufflers mounted that way, the canisters, I have the room now to come in and then go above the drive system with my hoses and drive the air up above into a plenum that drops down over the top of the motor, and then the suction from down here will suck the air across that motor and out through the bottom. So I think this is all going to come together and work. Well, I can tell you, I'm quite excited about that. I love it when a plan goes much better than anticipated and planned, and that's what's happening with this fitment of this engine. So I'm going to call it a day, and I'll be back out here tomorrow to see what other trouble I can get into. Thank you for all your support. BD5 Pilot is out for now.